Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and we have our preview for episode 2 of season 4 of Strange New Worlds, and this seems to be the horror episode. Yeah, the zombies in space episode that they've been talking about. So, I'll give you a breakdown of what it says it's about. It's a very, very, very short synopsis they have for it and stuff, but yeah. I was only thinking then as well that it's strange. They normally drop at least the first 2 episodes. I think last season they dropped the first 3 episodes all at once. And they didn't do that this time. They only dropped the 1 episode. But it's saying here that this episode is called The Griffin Incident. So this week's episode is titled The Griffin Incident, and it has been described as a horror episode. It was written by Robbie Thompson and directed by, I think you pronounce it Alex or Alexi or something like that. I'm not sure actually how you pronounce it. Axelle. Axel? I'm not sure. Caroline, who is known for her work in horror, including American Horror Story and Creepshow. The scares commence on Thursday this week. Yippee. So the synopsis is literally like one line that says, Spock, La'an, and Kirk board a lost Federation ship where an old mystery becomes a survival crisis. Because of course it does. Yet again, a mystery. We literally just heard for her not Strange New Worlds. This is Strange New Worlds. What's it called? Starfleet Academy. About this new cadet. Well, I don't even think he's a cadet. The new alien guy they find and bring him home. And what happens? They recognize that he's got a mysterious backstory. And here we go again. Ooh, a mystery for what happened to this ship. So, didn't take them long to bring Kirk back into an episode, did it? Look, there's Kirk and Spock with Khan Noonien Singh's great granddaughter, who Spock is dating, by the way, if you didn't know. Good God. Look, a horror episode. You can have episodes that have somewhat of like a horror vibe to it. They've always done it. But just going full on horror, how and why? Like, what's the point? It's Star Trek. It's not a horror show. Again, you can have elements that feel like horror, but to go full on horror. Now, I'm assuming because this is the horror episode that this is the one with zombies, because we know there's meant to be like more kind of zombies. And don't forget, they're like saying, oh, this is the first ever kind of creepy horror one. It's like, but you did the zombie one last season. So, did you just not class that as like a creepy horror episode? What the hell are these stupid masks? Good God. But it's just, they're doing so much stupid crap already. Like, we're going to be 2 episodes in and we're already gone from dinosaurs and time travel again to horror and zombies. Possibly zombies anyway. Again. So, I'm assuming this is the Enterprise because the thing over here, the screen she's looking at, is it is a Constitution class, but why is the warp nacelle look massive? Or whether it's just a diagram because she's in engineering, I don't know. They're really pushing for number 1 here to be going on away missions and stuff. And by the way, why do they keep bringing her? Yeah, absolutely head melt. So, it really is. In the original series, like, usually in the away party was Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. And a couple of red shirts to be killed off. This show, half the crew go on these away missions. It's like, why would you do that? Like, if you all get stuck in, like, a bad situation, what's the ship supposed to do? What's the command structure left on the ship? You know, like, you're bringing the person they keep calling a pilot as opposed to fucking helms person, but they keep calling her a pilot. So you keep bringing your pilot, your science officer, your captain, your your first officer, both your doctors. They usually bring them Bega and Chapel, and usually one of your engineers. It's like, why would you bring all of these people on an away mission? It makes zero sense. And they never seem to bring, like, expendable characters. I don't know why. It's not like they're shy of killing people, because that's all they do in this show is murder everyone. But think of it. This is a great way to look at it. Every time they go to a different planet or they're facing off against someone new or who's a threat, they straight up murder. And yet, in the first episode of this season, no, they just stunned the dinosaurs. Mainly because they thought, well, we can't change anything. And then it turned out it actually made no difference, because they were still the cause of civilization. Yeah. Why is not on in engineering? I don't know. I really don't know. It's like, she's not an engineer. She's a security officer. And by the way, the first episode of this season was the first and only time they made this idea that she's starting to lose control because of her augmentation with her blood. That, like, the enhancement is starting to actually affect her. Which also makes no sense, because Una, aka number one, she's also in augment. She's also enhanced, and yet she doesn't show any of these signs. But because it's Khan's great-granddaughter, it's like, ooh, she's going to become this psycho and stuff. The only thing where she kind of was breaking like that is the episode when they became Vulcans. Because you realized, was she actually a Vulcan, or was she actually more Romulan because of her augmentation? But in terms of her actual character becoming a bit more Khan Noonien Singh, it's never been hinted to. Until the very first episode of this season, where she punched the dinosaur, broke her hand, but didn't feel it. She felt no pain. And now she's panicking because, uh-oh, am I becoming like my great-grandfather? It's like, where did this come from? It's the same where last season with Pike's fiance or girlfriend, whatever she was, where she had the episode, and it was very early in the season, where she seemed to have become like super powered, and it was never brought up again until like the last episode. It was like, where did that come from, and how did you get to this point? Like, there was no in between, there was no explanation, there was nothing referencing it. So they kind of mess about with things and just don't explain anything. This will probably be the same. So she had this thing happening to her in the first episode. Will they expand on it in this episode? God, no. They'll probably do it by the last episode. But we're going to have our horror episode coming up with Kirk. By the way, why are they all in away gear like these jackets, and Kirk is just in his normal uniform? Where's his jacket? They can't say he's on board this ship because he serves aboard the Farragut, which is the only other ship that's ever in this bloody show. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be weird. But I shall review it so you guys don't have to watch it. But if you are watching this stuff, what did you think of the first episode and stuff? And what do you think about the idea of this being a full-on horror episode? Woo! Spooky season comes early. Let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all of that good stuff. Cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.